In terms of workmanship, are you supervising to ensure that materials used meet the required standards and specifications? Are we able to adhere to the principles we set in terms of deadlines? So I have so many questions. I sat there and kept on writing. And the questions are here. I'll read them for you. The first one is, what are the challenges the city is facing in regard to works under use made? I paid a courtesy call to His Worship the Mayor, and we tried to tackle those issues, to talk about them. What is it that we can do to improve? When I came to Lira, I was going to arrest people today. Because during the course of the week, even when my people were trying to engage with you, some of you were playing hard to find. And yet here we are, we have come to engage with you and improve and better your lives. And improve on service delivery as well. But there you are, you have responsibility, you have not carried out your responsibility very well. What are the reasons for not taking action against the contractors who have not delivered in time? You say, oh, cluster, it was from headquarters. Have you written to the power center regarding the challenges? Have you gotten appropriate responses? Has action been taken? Do we need to wait for 3 years down the road and the project is winding up and we begin lamenting that, oh, now this is going back, we are not able to absorb? Why? So I'm asking myself, what exactly is it witchcraft? If it is witchcraft, who is responsible for bewitching us here? I usually don't talk like this. I speak with a smile. Recently I was in Soroti, I said there is good work, and they clapped. I said, hey, don't clap hard. There is still a lot you can do to improve. But indeed there is good work over there, and where I find good work, I give credit to where it is deserved. I am usually very hesitant to apply the other powers, to say, no, take so and so, take. I look at the implications and say, but surely do I have to go this? Is there something we can do and discuss these things, pacho, and a round table, and see that they are resolved amicably? What does the supervising engineer have to say about this mess? About the level of work, about the speed and timeliness? Because I'm standing, I know no miracle can happen in 2 weeks' time. Even where we have just been at the children's park, they're saying they're at 95, but I don't think so. I don't think they can install the things, put the water tanks, put the lightings, put the CCTV cameras, do the final finishings, do the landscaping within 2 weeks' time and have that project launched. What is happening? Can we strengthen supervision, enhance supervision, and ensure that works go on? What are the last certificates reading? Have you paid and the man is just, the contractors are just not quick to take action and move very fast? Do you think that in 2 weeks period, the project cycle, in view of all the lost time, can be redeemed? What are we going to do to mitigate the loss and wastage of time? And if that money goes back, who is responsible? By then I'm here waiting to see what is going back. And when it goes back, I'll come back here and take action. People are going to be interdicted because they have failed to measure up to the expectations of the leader. You had your president speak at the State of Nation address, speak yesterday at the national budget ceremony. You need to be very keen on issues to do with value for money. The country is struggling financially. Where there are struggles, do they give you? You don't absorb it, it goes back. That means you didn't need. Those who have little, the little will be taken away and given to the other people. What can we do to improve in those areas? These are questions I would like you to answer. I am not going to give you time to ask me questions, but I've come to ask you questions. What can you do to redeem? I want the engineer, the supervising engineer to explain. I would like the chief administrative officer to explain. I would like us to live here when we have solutions. What is the percentage of work done? What is the percentage of work paid? What is the explanation for the mismatch? Who will pay for the loss to government? USMID is not a gift. It's a grant, like a loan which needs to be paid back. So who will pay for whatever losses? That's what I'm saying. In 2 weeks' time, I may come back here. Some people will leave their offices. Some people will leave their offices, not that I want, because I'm happy to punish people, but I want responsible leadership. I've been preaching this issue of integrity, responsible leadership, and some people have caused loss and have said it is the devil. But they volunteered themselves to be containers for the devil to use. So I cannot see the devil, but I can see the person who alleges that the devil has. So if he's keeping the devil in him, I take him and the devil to jail. And I will do that with confidence. I don't know who the contractor is and where they got the contractor from. But the contractor should be able to take and to measure up the responsibility and be able to implement his contractual obligations. So if there is breach of contract, then we'll tackle all that in law. Non-performance of the contract amounts to breach in contract law. Breach is where someone has failed, but has it just failed or it was you who failed to play your part? Because there are contractual obligations. So I want to begin getting responses here. I'm not going into details of the contract, of a specific performance, stopping the other party, things like in Western they were telling me about liquidated damages and whatnot. I will not go into that. I just want plain answers. Can we get some responses in regard to my communication? So that I go also when I'm satisfied that when I was in Lira City, they explained to me and I understood. Taking his time and his money goes back. So friends, I would like responses. I would like to stop here for now and I invite you to help me and answer some of these questions I have asked across the board. Thank you.
Is competent enough to give information as regards to this project. And at this moment I call upon the project manager to take up and use some of this.
As I say, my name is Freddy Oyi. I've been the project manager specifically for the selected infrastructure project, which includes 6 roads and 2 banks. The project started in May 2021. Unfortunately, it started at the time when COVID-19 was still very active. So somehow it restricted some of the movements of the contract. So the contract moved very slowly at the beginning. Later, prices of key inputs shot. For example, diesel, I think, was about 2,000 shillings. Went up to was documents related to the original design. Because the project was initially designed by a different contract consultant. Now when we came in, the supervising consultant needed to review the original design for them to, they needed to review the document before the actual construction started. So this was not available by the ministry in time, some time. Now when the documents arrived, then they started the design review. Another major cause of delay then was utility relocation. Utilities included infrastructure, then water infrastructure, then some telephone infrastructure. This was delayed because there were arguments about who should be responsible for relocating this facility. National Water in the area wanted to use their qualified subcontractors for kind of relocation because we were urging that the local contractors knew where the infrastructure was. While the main contractor wanted to do the relocations themselves so that they could do it faster. So that caused a lot of delays in executing the works. Another delay was encumbrances or parts of the project area. I remember some areas we first worked and left them out. We've done later. So there were negotiations that went on, we continued engaging them. So that was also one of the big causes of the delay. Now the contractor later claimed some of those delays and the time period was extended. Even when the period was extended, I'm sorry, the contractor was selected. Really, they presented very good documents. The documents were excellent. Even the quotations were the best. But we were disappointed by the way they acted. Person was concerned. The whole team here, including RCC and Lira, we went to Kampala more than 5 times to discuss the speed of the project. None of us in the city was happy with the contract. Immediately we noted that there was serious delays. We went to Kampala more than 5 times. The whole team here trying to discuss how to get the project moved. But our contractor here was not a good one. I remember at one point we went to Kampala with the intention of termination, and that was our position. But the ministry advised us that it wouldn't be safer for us to terminate the contract. We would rather suffer with the contractor who is doing something than terminating and then getting a new contract. So basically, those are the causes of all these delays that has led us to, that has put us in the position we are in today. We, as project management team, down here, we try, we are always engaging on a daily basis. We call them in the morning. If you find the site, we call their supervisors, their bosses. What is the problem? The site is silent. They say we don't have much. We don't have fear. We don't have whatever. We even advise them to do subcontracting. They subcontracted parts of the work. Somehow, the very well. There were a lot of arguments among the subcontractors. So this is basically what has led us to this position. The very last one is that the last release of the money came 1 week ago. The 3.3 billion came 1 week ago. And it was not very easy to commit government when the funds were not available. We were very sure after the funds came. That is when we were very sure that the funds are available. That's why the last few projects here, the funding have not started. But the procurement process was completed and people are now clearing with the Solicitor General. Actually, the procurement process is 20 billion. So that is basically what I've done.
Second, you have to work. And they don't face that this project. They completed that. They suffice.
We need commitments that in 2 weeks' time you will perform miracles here in the university. Money and people need services from this project. The contract around? The contract is here. Introduce yourself and give us answers, please.
Thank you so much. First of all, I'm Joseph Mara, Inspector of Works, Second in Concerts. However, I'm not in position to represent my bosses. I'm not delegated to do so. Thank you.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here if you're not representing your bosses?
I've been called actually from the shopping office.
What would you explain to us the name of works? What exactly you're doing to help the university achieve its target? So if you're here representing the consultants, please say something. You're not just going to stand here and say, I'm not in a position to explain. Then they'll take you as someone who's a suspicious character. They're going to put you behind jail. Then you call your bosses to explain to me the status of this project. Because we are not here to joke. We are not here for jokes. We have come here for business, and the business is how we can deliver services to our people. So Joseph, explain something.
Basically, a lot has been said by the project manager, and I don't differ from what he has said. Because we shared previously, but the status of the brief he gave about this project, the progress, the physical progress, and the financial progress. Thank you.
Talk about finances, and yet it was a key thing. We have 2 certificates which have already been submitted. Worth about 7 billion. 2 certificates have already been submitted, worth 7 billion. We have money. As the project management team, we were supposed to have met this afternoon to look through it, and then we will feed in the system. So that leaves us with about 4 billion. And 840 is already committed at Mayor's Garden, leaving us with about 3 billion. The lights, new lights, they are already casting the foundation. So that is 1 billion again. That we shall be left with about 2 billion. Then this other 2 billion was supposed to go for Timber Stage and maintenance of the lights. I mean, the maintenance of the old lights.
Have you procured the lights already?
The new ones?
Yes.
The contractors already ordered.
But the two certificates, what one?
One of them is for street lights, one of them for other previous tasks which were already done. When they are reached down. We're looking at 2 billion now, about 40%, and then the repair of your lights. As for money which may be difficult to absorb.
How far away from completion in terms of percentage?
It's in 90s, should be about 95. It should be about 95 overall. Because the roads now are done. There's only the two parts which have issues. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Going back. He goes back, next 3 years you're getting less than what has gone back. The most disappointing thing is going back in there paying one to stay in the city. And the cities where obviously they are modern money, they are using, they have paved their roads, walkways, and street lights, and there is a balance and overflow. And they have sold clearance from PSS to do additional roads. You can visit Gulu and see that. So why do you wake up and begin? If the problem is the contractor, please do something about it. Write to the power center about this. If it has failed, what our offices are open, because me and so Barara Kabala Tunga, we moved. Put the notch high and you see what's happening. There as I talk, the places are also filled and tarmac. And even the people who are quarreling and I'm saying, hey, at least we now have tarmac. So the contractor is now busy doing the street lights as well and opening the walkways. So what is it that we can do in the next 2 weeks to get to that level as well? You can have pressure people, that's why I wanted the consultant here. But the person who has come and refused to talk to the consultant, where is the consultant? So can we have answers? Where is the consultant?
We saw that the resident engineer is not around. There is some over how they want to push the contractor to work a little bit faster within the next 14 days. That is like actually for us 7 days. And I'm still sure that if they put enough resources in this part, because that children's park, we only need sand and then the electrical systems connecting those things. The tank you see there, the stand is already set. What they need to do, plastering 1 day, fixing the tank and piping 1 day. We have the tank completed. So I really don't see that there is a lot of cost. Even the parks there, the compound is already run process, landscaping, that is where the water works. But the main thing now left is finishing course and cleaning some of the areas and then maybe some of the electrical systems. So with enough resources, even in 7 days, it is possible to discuss. Thank you.
Okay.
The other day, just have this place yesterday in the beginning. But I think we need to engage in because of the road that we pay. Although how we pay, they will be around all the time because they have a specific number of hours they're supposed to be here. Can engage him so that he's around, push this report to the next.
I'll make a report, a comprehensive report, to reach my office by Tuesday on the status of work and show me what you're doing. You say you can do it in 7 days time. I'll be the most excited Uganda to see this work completed in 7 days time. I'll be the most excited person. So prepare a report, furnish you with what it is you're doing to fulfill the remaining ones and build them completion. Because it is not good enough to say we are at 95 and we don't see like a children's park. The place was locked, no works going on, but we still made works. The landscaping, what is a lot that needs to be done to finish. So I think our report is here, highlighting what is remaining. Look at what is remaining and see if you can give that in 2 weeks' time. I'll be very excited to learn that you are able to absorb and commit this work to the expectations without letting this money go back. Because they can't go when their services require that money to do here. So on Tuesday, I'll follow up Director. We need to get that report so that we continue as friends. It's not nice for me to come. We have this dialogue, constructive dialogue. Now we can try our city. Then after some time, I'm the one sanctioning arrests again. It looks very bad. Personally, I will also be very guilty. But if we are to move and get works done, then sometimes we need to use the iron hand as well. So thank you very much for kindly responding to some of those issues and the actual action by works getting fully implemented. So thank you very much. I think I will raise my ceremonies to take us through the next step.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for your guidance.
Respect of government, staff, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Introduced later on earlier in the different categories. We have in our midst the deputy. Then we have the honorable workers representative, female bar. Madam Angie, wait for the others who will speak. In this context, that's how some of us feel. Because you can't believe that for 4 years, you are knocking on the door of this same person. Move, do this. Sometimes we don't even know what to explain to them because they don't understand what they're saying. How do you feel to get something back? This is a contractor who immediately came into office. We got suspicious. Like the project manager said, we first summoned the project management team from the center, support team from the center to come here. RCC was there, our 2 members of parliament were there, and but still, up to now, we find us still rotating. But in the 3 years that I've been there, these are the few things I kept here, and I would like the team to take it. That will help the subsequent conference. One, I was made to know that the contract that we use to engage under this business process is one of the weakest contracts in the country. I'm told there are 3 categories of contracts, and for us we're using the weakest. That's the explanation that I hear. And they say why we're not using that tough one, because the tough one calls everybody to account, and sometimes as an entity where you make a mistake, you also lose. So in the interest of, I don't know, the powers that be, they chose that option. So that's the reason why sometimes even if you ask the question, why don't you terminate? Because everyone is aware that we're using a weak contract. So moving forward, I think we should go from that to save future projects that will be coming. Secondly, there was a notion sometime that came that let's build Uganda by Uganda. So that notion brought in Ugandan companies to also participate in this project. But record is now showing that that was a mistake. Then moving forward, any entity that will choose a Ugandan contract will choose it at their own expense. I pray that leadership does not choose again a Ugandan contract. Yeah, talk like were you sent? You remember that? Were you sent intentionally to sabotage us? So when we start speaking like that, and we are all Ugandans, and we are talking to another Ugandan, that were you sent, you know the connotation, what it means. So, we don't want this to be a punishment for the people of this region just because the designers of these contracts did not do their work. And I'm repeating a line that I made today when I was told that the team that is going to supervise Akiwa Stadium, the team of consultants, are going to come from the Ministry of Works. And I thank government. Because in our case, they're saying a different consultant designed. Then a different consultant came to supervise. How can government have a whole Ministry of Works and not employ full-time consultants? So that will also be a recommendation that subsequent programs, let government employ Ugandans of high caliber, and they are here. These ones we are calling resident engineers, even if they are working for private entities, they are Ugandans and they are knowledgeable. Let them be employed so that we hold them accountable throughout, from the project design to the project implementation. But in our case, during project design, somebody else comes and does the job and goes away. And in our case, there was one road here, it's called Bankene, where rock fill, which is a key component of the road, was missing in the view. And people discovered during implementation. And you ask, are we engineers, are these engineers who are working? And good enough for you, engineers, the questions are not fired to you. The questions are fired to the mayor. Mayor, why is the project not being delivered? So I pray that government should employ full-time consultants who can either be held accountable individually or by respect of the offices that they will hold in government. Finally, it is not true, much as the project manager wants to explain this away, that we can work miracle in 2 weeks to consume, for example, 1 million meant for beautification of Timber State. I don't want you to lie. If you need that, then on Tuesday, IT will be sending, on Wednesday, after reading your report on Tuesday, on Wednesday we'll be sending a team to come and take you to go and explain. We are thinking and we are consulting. We need also guidance. Whether these other new projects can be guaranteed and we pay using bank guarantees, if it's possible. That is the only way that we can maybe be able to absorb these other additional works. What we are aware of, and it's already in the national budget, is that after 30th of June, the wind-up of using additional financing shall be done up to 31st of October. I think we already have the guidelines to that effect. In that period, we shall be paying retention. So now, if we are being allowed to pay retention, if we can trust these companies and pay them using bank guarantees in advance, then we can use that period of 4 months to see how they can deliver on these other areas. So I thought I would raise that in this meeting so that we don't give a wrong picture to the public, including our guest of honor who has come in a friendly way today, but has assured us now, after 7 days, when you send this report, things might change. So we need to give the right information. So for me, those are the comments I can make. Otherwise, I want to thank you and your team for coming. I want to thank everybody who has attended.
So, Al-Nuami Abubakar something. Along the way, Al-Nuami whatever disappeared, which was supposed to be something from Kuwait or something. Now, we are here stuck with I don't know what contractor who cannot perform, who cannot speak before the IDG. Madam IDG, we need to begin tackling some of these things right from its inception. Some of these contractors come when they, I have said this before, when they want these jobs, they will go to any office. If it means going to which office, even if an office is in the beehive, they will risk and enter inside the beehive so that they get the job. But once they get this job, you will never see the directors. You will never see them. You will never see them again. They send boys and girls who cannot explain anything to anybody. And this is worse corruption that we are seeing with some contractors in Uganda. Where did the first contractor, where did that one go, who was supposed to do this project? And who is doing it now? When you are launching the project, the directors are not there. They send some lowest representatives of their companies to come and preside. And that is the mistake number one. We always start with them. We don't see them. I told His Worship the Mayor in Lira City, I will never preside over the launching of any project when the director of the project is not there. And I want to repeat that now. In Lira City, let us not entertain that. That is where the mistake comes. They divert every money given for the project, and then the project suffers, service delivery suffers. So this contract, if it wasn't for the strong pushing of the political leadership and my office and the technical team, we were all committed in this. The town clerk, the mayor, my office. Like the engineer said, we had several meetings at the ministry. But some of them also want to pay more allegiance to the people at the ministry at the expense of those who directly supervise the contracts on the ground. Because they think that is where they got the contract. They think that is where the godfathers are. But we are here damaging service delivery. Unless, if I had powers, I think I would have terminated this contract a long time ago. But also, those who draft those contractual agreements, I think a lot of thieves are there. Because the way they twist things and intertwine, once they give these thieves the contracts, you cannot get it away from them. You can't, because they connive from up there. You can't get the contract out of them once they have it. I think there's a need to review some of the contractual agreements we give to some of these people, so that when somebody fails to perform, it is easy for us to let them go away and then we pick up with another contractor. And that is where they cling now, because you cannot take it away from them. And they do it as they wish. I'm glad the inspectorate is now up and ready to face the corrupt in this country. And I want us to clap for the inspectorate. Because they have recovered billions of shillings from the hands of the corrupt. So we are not going to entertain this anymore, and I call upon the leadership in Lira City. We need to unite to fight this form of corruption. And Madam Dr. Patricia said it here clearly that by Tuesday, her office wants a report. Contractor, I still take that you are the money here, you are the contractor here. That report is needed by Tuesday in this office. And if it is not there, you are no longer talking to the engineer here in the district, in the city. Tell them wherever they are hiding, because they are aware that this meeting was supposed to take place. The report is needed. One time one of you called me, that thieves were disturbing them. I told them a thief has got a thief, so settle with your thief. I'm not going to send you security. I told them a thief has got a thief, settle your issues. Why do you need government security when you're a thief yourself? I told your boss, and he never called me again. Yes, So you are doing a big disservice to this government, you are doing a big disservice to the people. And the people do not know where to shift their blame. I'm glad, Madam IGG, I'm glad you are here with your team. And together with you and our team here, we are committed in ensuring service delivery. And this one has been a challenge to us. And within these few days remaining, I think we need to do whatever we can do within our powers to ensure that at least some services are delivered to our people, to your satisfaction, to the satisfaction of the government of Uganda. Once again, thank you for coming.
Lira to monitor transparency, accountability and anti-corruption, and this is TAC, which the Inspectorate of Government is rolling out, and you realize that TAC is now in the NDP4 as a cross-cutting issue. TAC is transparency, accountability and anti-corruption, and we are specifically monitoring transparency, accountability and anti-corruption in the government project of USMID and PDM and others like UGIFT as well. We are monitoring progress. This morning we were engaging with the district officials of Lira district to see the progress on the implementation of PDM. We were engaging with the circle leaders, we were engaging with the technocrats within the district, and we want to see whether people are benefiting from this government important program called the PDM, which is put in place basically to improve the well-being of the people. And then we got very good feedback. Of course, people are reaping fruits and benefits already from PDM, but the PDM has also still got some challenges because the main issue was the supervision. The people who are going out there to supervise, the people who are going out there to monitor from the district, they said they needed facilitation. And I gave guidance that facilitation is not factored in the money for PDM. PDM is supposed to be for the beneficiaries through the circles. Facilitation, I advise that the district should plan and budget for it in their budget and get somebody who can be given some transport or fuel to ride a motorcycle and go and monitor progress with PDM at the grassroots. But of course, they have got this ambitious dream that they need to have an office for PDM, they need to have laptops and computers, they probably will need a vehicle and so on. That is a very ambitious plan. And I told them because government is having resource constraints, PDM will be implemented progressively with availability of resources, and that is the reason why not all the circles can be receiving money at the same time. It is done in phases. So that is about the PDM. But we have very good constructive dialogue with the technocrats, and the circle leaders are also sharing their challenges. Some people are saying people are not getting exactly the amount they should get because there are even bank charges that is reducing the money significantly. But otherwise, Lira district, people are benefiting from the PDM, people have started projects, but there was also the issue of changing. You start with goats and then you realize that there's more money in poultry, and then someone changes to poultry. So I advise them that whenever you change, you should be able to go back to the project document, the contract document you wrote, the project document, the proposal, and change it significantly also, and say along the way I discovered that this one gets more money and I decided to change, and the reasons for changing, so that they walk in the light, because we are talking about transparency and accountability. So if you're given money to do ducks and you wake up and decide to do cocks, it is they are two different things. So it's important to be transparent and open, so that it's put on record that you started with ducks, along the way you changed to poultry and you've changed to something else. So it's very, very important. So that was PDM. We have been meeting with the city, the Lira city officials, the technocrats, His Worship the Mayor, and the RCC, and the other technocrats like the engineers and the district technical, the city technical team. And in that meeting, we were basically looking at USMID and the progress. We began by monitoring the USMID projects, and we saw this children's park, which has been beautifully done, but is not completed. And we're having just 2 weeks for winding up, and they told me that 95%, but the amount of work I see does not show that it is 95, because landscaping is not done, cameras have not been put, lighting is not done, and there is still some substantive amount of work to be done, mainly labor-intensive works. So we in the meeting talked about the youth made projects, and we put deadlines. We said it is not nice for Lira City to see money going back, and this money is intended for service delivery. So I told them to tighten their belts and prepare a report urgently, to submit that report to me with a way forward and show me what it is they can do in 2 weeks' time to redeem that money. Because it's about supervision again. When there is no supervision, then the contractor takes his time. Like you believe me, when we went to the children's park, there was no work going on. The place was just quiet, and then they start saying, now we are going to finish this within a short time possible. So I think they need to enhance more of supervision. But I also told them, if this money goes back, then the people who are responsible will have to face the law. I said I would come back here and pick them one by one, because the law gives me power. If someone is causing financial loss to government and people are not getting services they should be getting, then I think my face needs to change instantly, and I come here and sanction arrests for the people who are culpable. The supervising engineer could not even explain in detail what exactly is remaining, the amount of works remaining. The contractor was nowhere to be seen. The representatives of the contractor could not talk. Those were the people whom I really needed to have gone with. But I said, well, let us first sort it at a round table talk. Let this be constructive, but on Tuesday, I need a report, a comprehensive report on the amount of works remaining, how many certificates are pending, what have they paid so far, what is the balance of money remaining, and can they put it to good use in the next 2 weeks and do the final finishes and final touches in the projects, in the outstanding projects which are remaining. But otherwise, the Inspectorate of Government is very happy to be here. My team has been on the ground. They've monitored all those projects, and there is a comprehensive report on each project and what is remaining to be done. There are even projects which have not yet been touched at all. So we are thinking, can there be a guarantee? Can the contractor give us a bank guarantee so that that money is issued, is released, and works can go on during the contract finalization period? Yes. Well, I needed it like now, but they need to have time to put things together, so that I receive it on Tuesday and act on it also quickly. Because what we want to do is to save money so that the community gets service delivery. I'm looking at service delivery. I don't even know who the contractor is and where they got him from, but what I want is service delivery. Are the people able to benefit? What would pain me and haunt me to the bone marrow is money going back, yet they spending works here in Lira City. Yes. After the report, then I'll act on it. I'll give them guidance and directives on what to do quickly in the remaining time to redeem time and that money. Yes.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
So we have